Hi Libra, welcome to your December 2025 Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. So, how is it December already? I have no idea. Alright, well, anyway, with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I do want to say I'm a little bit under it at the moment, so I apologise for any coughing and sputtering and sniffling and wiping my nose in advance. As you can hear, it's all in there. So let's get into it. And I do want to say, whatever you do or don't celebrate, I really truly hope you have a wonderful, happy Yule, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Christmas, whatever it is that you do or don't celebrate. And if you are spending time alone over the holiday season this year, I will be sending you extra love, because I know it's not an easy time of year to be on your own. Now, for that being said, there's something going on this month with a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm going to have to check what her name. What's her name? She's just delivered our budget and everybody hates her currently. Not Liz Truss, she's another one. Oh gosh, I've forgotten her name now. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, here in the UK. I've got to check what sign she is. I wonder if she's a fire sign, because the Queen of Wands keeps coming up this month consistently, and obviously I use a different deck for each one of the signs when I'm reading, and she has been a consistent excuse me. The Seven of Wands have been consistent cards that have come up. So first things first, when it comes to your actions and options this month, the Queen of Wands is asking you to focus on bringing more of your creative streak and spark to life. She's asking you to tap back into this. What's really interesting about this as well is your ruler Venus is now in the sign of Sagittarius. So Venus in Sag is flirty, feisty, vibrant, energetic. She's a lot more devil may care kind of energy. And this Queen of Wands is very much like that. You know, it's definitely a Venus in a fire sign kind of energy. So you might find that you feel like you're getting a bit of your joie de vivre back, or maybe you're getting a little bit more of your sparkle back in your life in some regard, which is wonderful. What I will say to you though is the Queen of Wands can also be about your boundaries. And so in this position of your actions and options, you might be enjoying and, you know, just really delving deep into your leisure and pleasure. But even still, maybe you're being really clear about, like, just because I'm laughing and I'm joking doesn't mean that I'm going to let certain things slide. Hey, like, listen, I'm here for that kind of energy. You know I am. When it comes to those of you that are, when it comes to the options that are available to you this month, there is a chance, actually, I think, and I feel, for you to really let your creativity and flow and spark. But also there's a chance for you to do some, when I say flirting, it doesn't necessarily mean like flirting, more like, you know, networking, but almost in like a sociable kind of way. So it's like a mix of the two energies. For your interesting, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Emperor. So the Emperor is Aries energy. So you couple this with the Mother of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is usually a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You couple this with the Emperor card, that would literally represent an Aries woman. So if you have an Aries woman in your life, then this would absolutely be somebody who's likely to be quite a big feature, certainly in some of the conversations that you're having over the course of this month. That being said, the quality of conversation that you're having this month, I actually think that this is about your boundaries. I do think that in many ways you might be kind of pulling rank or setting a certain story straight in some regard. I also think that in some way, shape or form, this may be you putting the guardrails up of how you expect things to move forward. So, maybe you're taking charge or lead in some way. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is a card of institutional academia, actually. So there could be conversations with your institution of learning, around the viability of what you're studying, or maybe more support that you need in some regard, or maybe just how you need more space for your own creative sort of ideas and energies to flow. Because the thing is, when you start sort of imposing such heavy I think sanctions is probably the wrong word, but do you know what I mean? Like when you start trying to police creativity or how somebody approaches a subject matter, you kind of squash the creativity out of it anyway, along with the freedom as well. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, this would literally represent your boss. And so there might be some conversations with your boss where, things are okay, they're going sort of back and forth, but you are kind of setting the record straight to say, like, actually, this is not something that I'm interested in experiencing, or actually, you know what, I'm going to need more support, or, whatever it is. There's I feel like this is you just being really clear and really honest about what your boundaries are. Job or no job, boss or no boss. It's kind of like, let me just set the record straight here so that we can be clear on how we move forward and we can maintain our, our camaraderie and our connection. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, because this could be you as the boss as well, right? So this is something that you do need to consider. If you're getting a specific type of feedback come back and it's consistently coming back, then that means there's something that you need to adjust or you need to adapt. And so I want you to give yourself the grace to say, this is possibly something that needs to be changed by me, and maybe I'm not aware of it, because if you don't know, you can't fix it, right? This is my whole thing. When people get annoyed or angry or pissed off with me or whatever, like, if I haven't already figured it out, and I'm usually quite self-aware, but if I haven't already figured it out, I'm going to need you to tell me, because if I don't know there's a problem, I can't fix it. All right. And I'm not one of these people, like, I don't like all of that sort of silent, under the radar, seething and heaving kind of energy. I really can't fucking stand it. It's just, do you know what I mean? So yeah, this may be one of those times where maybe you need to be a bit more self-aware and say, okay, is there something that I'm missing here as the boss? Now, if you don't have employees, this could be people that you're collaborating with. With the Emperor here, this may mean that you have to get a tighter grip of the organization that you're trying to build or to create, right, when it comes to your business. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, this actually feels like some kind of paperwork interaction or documentation that might need to be looked at, that maybe you either didn't want to or, hadn't expected to need to sort of work on now, but it almost prompts you to do that kind of thing, right? Now, for your love and relations, you've got the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles has been, like, literally consistently coming up in that position. It's so weird, right? Like, so weird. I'm going to have to really sit with this today and ask. I think on the wider world stage, there's likely to be something happening potentially with the housing market. I think we could see some kind of weird adaptation or fluctuation there. But I also think that we're likely to see something come up or out on the wider world stage about a couple and housing, etc. housing, property, land, etc. Now, when it comes to for those of you that are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, this could be you and your significant other looking at and thinking about what the next steps are around your living situation and the home that you're in. For those of you that are single and looking, For some of you, if you're specifically for those of you that are in new but not brand new relationships, this could be a time where you're actually deciding, you know what, we're going to move in together and we're gonna go for it. We're going to take a real shot at this. So if that is you, good luck with that. I really hope it goes well for you. For your money and materials, you have the Star card, and it looks like it will, so fantastic. Before we get into your money and materials, I do want to mention, if you're feeling the seasonal pull and you want to work with the energy instead of against it, the Winter Solstice Alignment Activation Session is back and better than ever. It is £33.33. It's the same price it's been since 2019. How many people can say that? There's a link in the description box below. It's a beautiful night where we all get round the digital hearth-fire and, you know, have a laugh, we swap stories, but also I'm going to help you set your intentions and your focus for the future, for the year ahead. We're going to look at your goals. We're also going to shoot you off into the future life progression style, so that you can see what the year ahead has in store for you. And as if all of that wasn't enough, I also have the Reydiant cohort. If you are interested in building and creating your very own winter arc, this is the time, right? This is the thing for you. The Reydiant cohort is from January to March. I'm going to be taking you deep. We're looking at shadow work. We're going to be doing the hard questions. We're going to be looking at consistency, self-mastery. This is about getting to know yourself at the root, at the foundation, why you do what you do. All right. And I'm going to say, if this is not for the faint of heart, it's not going to be for everybody. There are only 50 spaces, and there are only 50 spaces because I want to make sure that I'm able to give all of you at least some one-to-one time over that course of that 12 weeks, right? That being said, there will be a community element to it, but your journey is deeply your own. This is about taking the season of winter, where the earth itself brings itself back into the core, and getting really deep into it, so that as you emerge in the spring, you step into a completely different energy. So if you're really ready to build brand new foundations, this is for you. The Reydiant cohort is absolutely there. There's a link in the description box below. Doors close on December 31st because the work begins on January 4th. For your money and materials, you have the Star card. This is the hope and positivity for the future of your finances. This is hope around a property, living situation, home, or, you know, some kind of home, property, living situation, even land possible. The other thing with the Star card as well, remember, this is, it's usually where the universe delivers something like a gift or a blessing. So the fact that you've got this in the money sector right next to the Ten of Pentacles, this could be some kind of money, finance, or resource that is winging its way towards you in stellar fashion, right? So that could be absolutely fantastic. Now, that being said, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, I always say that this card represents your nervous system, but it also represents your skin. So look after these two aspects of self. You know, the skin is the largest organ of the body. It's literally your first line of defense against everything that's outside of you. So this month, you want to pay extra attention to this. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, well, the Star card could quite literally be you in a place that feels like you've stepped into or onto a brand new timeline. For your first week of the month, you've got the Fool card. Yes, we're going old school. Don't get excited. The weeklies are not coming back. So we've got the Fool card, which means a new fire sign woman, likely to be an Aries woman, is coming into your world in this first week of December. This also suggests that a lot of the ideas and energies that you're working with in this first week of the month are very much new. They're taking you in brand new directions in some way. Your second week of the month with the Empress, we love that. There's a lot of growth that comes out of the second week of the month. And if you're willing to dig into what needs to be organized or reorganized in some way, if you're willing to really think about things for the long term instead of just for the immediate, and to really do the work in the short term so that you can have the long term gain, the second week week of December could really see a lot of progress made. For the third week of December, so around the holidays, you've got the death card. So what comes to a close is potentially a tie to a locality. So for some of you, this might be a time where you literally realize, you know what? The time that we've spent in this place it's run its course, right? It's time for us to move. It's time for us to change location. And this wouldn't be like, oh, you know, we're moving across the street. This would be like, we're moving across the country. Do you know what I mean? Or we're moving abroad. Very much like that kind of energy, right? Now, for the fourth week of the month, you've got the Tower card with the star. So first things first, on the wider world stage, the fourth week of the month, I would not be surprised if we see some kind of disruption to a satellite, etc. So watch out for that. If I will say on a more personal level, watch out for things like your internet or your broadband connection, because you could have some challenges or some issues there. Another way that this could also show up is maybe a new collective, friend, tribe, or even location ends up being something that you sort of go in for, put more time and effort into. For your, and then you've got this death card with the Tower. The second half of this month, I think, is really about closing down an old cycle. And if you refuse to take the conscious action to shut something down, it's likely that it will be taken out of your hands. This is very much like a Uranus energy, jump or be pushed, right? Now, your Human Design Oracle deck message is the Gate 48 and Depth. And the message behind this card is the right dependence and interdependence of people can absolutely help you move forward. What it also suggests is you have hidden depths, talents, or resources that are as yet untapped and need or require more of you to delve into. All right. With that said, whatever you do or do not celebrate, again, I truly hope you have a wonderful time of it. Have a great festive season. From my heart to yours, I truly do hope you have a wonderful time of it. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout the year. I could not have done it without you, and there were some crazy moments this year, as I'm sure you are all aware, but I truly am very grateful. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Oh yeah, and I've got lots of new stuff in the new year, so stay tuned.